We don't need
Going
no
live.
teleprompter.
I think we're
going
live.
live. We're doing this
We're
live.
live. Let me
I think
see.
we're
Are we
live.
live?
Are we? We're
live. We do this every week where we have no idea if we're live or not.
we're
And then I
live. We've
test
been
the
live for
live.
10 seconds.
Am I frozen? I think I'm frozen. Like,
You're just
am I in a funny position?
you're like one of the ghosts in Mario when you walk away from them, they move, when you turn around they stop. Just-
What is up with this internet? AT&T? Okay? The hell? Pay you people. I don't want to go back to Xfinity. I hated it. Anyway, so we're minus a Limey. We miss him. But we're going to do this anyway. We're talking about friendships, so I'd like to talk about friendships.
Yay, friendship.
And good friendships and toxic friendships, and when to remove people from your life. Look at that. How you doing?
No one told me life would be this way.
Let's not do that. Yeah, that was that a realistic depiction, the show Friends, of how actual friends operate? I don't know.
Oh my
I mean, it
God.
was a
Oh my
cute
God,
show,
no.
but I know I can't watch it
No,
now.
they're too like wait, where's well, I have one that's like everybody's all like, yay, happiness, woo, giddy giddy, and yeah, like I don't think any of my friendships have been really quite like this.
Well, and I found like when I was friends with like two other
Oh, that's
girls,
not
right?
Friends,
Because
that's
that
Seinfeld.
happened in school. So it was me and two other girls, or me and another girl, and then a third. It was always third wheel situation. You know what I mean? And you
Oh
had
God, I hate
that
them.
dynamic in that show, I think, with Phoebe, what's her name? Jen Aniston's. I forgot. And
Rachel,
Monica. Rachel and
Phoebe,
Monica.
Rachel,
That's
then
it,
there's the
Rachel.
other one.
Monica.
Yeah, the other one.
Courtney, Cox. That's her name. So, yeah, I never thought that was super realistic. Like, three women, sometimes three girls, right? It never really works.
No,
Never
'cause
works
you
out. One of the
either need.
girls gets jealous and
It
pissed. The
has
other
to be
girls go
even
talk
numbers.
about her. Trust
It has
me.
to be even numbers with girls, because it's like, yeah, because
Uh-huh.
it's like the two of them will be really close,
Hey,
and then
Rachel,
so
sis.
there'll be a third, but there's four. It's even. It's like an even match of tennis,
Yeah, it's got to
And
be
they're
two or four. It can't be three. Let me go and say hi to the chat because I totally screwed that up this evening. Miss Rachel, sis, great job last night at Sunfest. It was awesome. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you. Pookie, who was here first. Gary Hubs, what's up? I know Poison Whales is here. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you all. Speaking of friends, and all of you are great friends. And I do want to say that this community has given me a lot of really great friends. Great support. Couldn't have made it through the last year and 4 months without any of you. That's including E and Limey and everyone here. Pole Vault, everybody. It's been great. In fact, you know what I should do is I am going to do something. Speaking of great friends,
invite pole vault.
well, I already did that.
Oh,
But
okay. I was like, wait,
that's
you
a
didn't
running
invite pole vault?
invitation every week. I invite pole vault.
I'm
No,
like, wait, you didn't invite pole vault?
you silly person. Are you crazy? I always invite pole vault and Sunshine. Sunshine's also welcome anytime. No, what I wanted to do was, if I can get this copied, I want to go into the chat and throw this link for Mr. Smith. And his, yeah, I'm frozen again. What the hell? And donating, if you guys want to, if anybody wants to donate to that cause.
Spare a talent for an old ex-slapper.
That was cute. That was really cute. I think he would laugh at that. We miss you, dude. If you're listening or watch this replay, we miss you. We want you back. We did not forget about your ass. You better get back here. Anyway, that's not a threat. It's a promise.
What if like what if this whole time he's just been getting some like a new face? And he just
Like,
comes back.
face
He's
off?
like, "Cha!" Pulls out the mask, and it's like,
We see his face. Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Somehow, I think that would be a really good cartoon, though, or like a graphic novel, like setup. That sounds like a good plot. I'd like
or like
it.
he takes off his he takes off his mask, and it's sexy Squidward.
Okay, let's not. Let's stop. Stop.
I'm just teasing. This is
I
what
know,
friends
because
do.
we miss him. We tease because we freaking miss him. We wish he was here. So we miss you, Smithy. Can't wait to come back.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, get back to it, you twat.
Yeah. Here we are then.
Because you know that's a joke. We write.
He
twat
loves
in this
it.
Chat.
He must have it.
It's a term of endearment.
It is. He loves it. He likes it. So it's
Twat.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. He likes it. He likes it. This is what friends do to each other. We roast the crap out of each other. You know?
I think it's a
If we
regional
like
thing
you.
too. I think it's a regional thing. Like in England, they call you call each other twat, and like
Yeah.
in Australia, you call each other cunt, and
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I like that though. I've tried to adapt that here. I don't think people like it here so much. I do it in private, trust me. And nobody hears me. Just my cats. My cats might hear me, but they don't care.
That's what friends
Just
are
look at me
for,
funny.
though, right? So that's what friends are for.
Exactly. You know, you have to razz each other. You have to give each other shit once in a while, or you know, you're not sure you love each other, right, Pookie?
Some friends you can
Old
beat
vault.
each other up. That's always fun. When you have a friend you can like beat up on, like you beat up each other, like one of my friends.
We had friends that we didn't really beat up on each other, but we did like
punch each other in the
Well,
arm
Kurt
every
had
once
friends,
in a while.
Kurt had friends he would blow shit up with, right? So they would, you know, blow things up and run away and pretend it wasn't them all the time. That's what guys did.
Like my friend Priscilla, like she passed a couple of years ago, but she was
I'm
one
sorry.
of those friends. You know, she was really tough, and like we just we'd punch each other in the shoulder, and then just with
Slug bug.
increasing, or just like with increasing, velocity, and just. Yeah, it was just fun, because we could do that. We trusted each other. We weren't going to hurt each other, but it was like...
Yeah, sometimes that
I-
can get a little annoying. It depends.
I just know that I could push you down a flight of stairs and we'll be laughing about it. Like,
Right. So so good friendships like that, even though, you're pushing each other down the stairs, which doesn't sound like real safe or anything.
It's happened a couple times.
I would not feel safe if I had a friend that wanted to push me down the stairs. I'm sorry. It's funny.
Well,
Just be always looking over your shoulder like, bitch, don't put me down.
not like full on shove, but like we'd kind of fuck with each other. We'd be going down the stairs together, and I'd try to push her a little bit, and she'd miss a couple steps, and she'd grab me by the shirt and make me miss a couple steps. But it was funny. It was kind of like you have like friends like the cast of Jackass are friends.
Oh,
You know,
God.
that kind of like maybe not as extreme, but just kind of
We used to do dumb things as kids with we are from the era of mall people, right? Like mall rats. And we were mall rats, and we go around to malls all the time. One we used to frequent, Jeremy might know this one, Oakland Mall. We used to frequent, that's like a desert now, but Used to be a big old popular mall, right, with a Sears and a Hudson's and all that stuff. And there used to be these, you used to be able to smoke at the mall. So that's why we went to the mall, right? Because we were 16 and we wanted to smoke. So we would go and walk around the mall and smoke cigarettes. And this one time, you know how they were these huge halls, it was a big mall. And so it was all echoey in there and stuff, right? And we're walking by this one garbage can. And I don't know what Kurt did, but he flipped that thing. And it went patang, bam, and it just like echoed through the whole mall. And he was like, oh shit. He's trying to put it back. I'm like, why are you even concerned about it? It's like one of those garbage can ashtray combos. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
We lived like by entirely different standards back then. We went outside, we experienced it. And I'm speaking from like being like the last generation to really do this. But to go out and like live life, outside of like computers and shit like that,
Yeah, yeah.
So like like growing up in the '90s, like we friends could be kind of mean to each other and do shit, but we like we had an understanding. You can't do that now though. Like a lot of like that just doesn't exist anymore. Kids are so like sensitive and. Yeah.
Yeah, friendships are different. I think that I can speak from with what I went through with my stepson, and he's Gen Z. Talk about a generation that never knew a world without computers, right? And he grew up on the PlayStation, and so he would come to my place, and his friends that he knew in real life, that's where he met them, was on the PlayStation. It's like he didn't want to get together with them. He didn't want to he wasn't crying because he couldn't spend the night at his friend's house because why? Because he was on the freaking PlayStation with them. And I thought, well, that's cool. And that's his buddy from school. He knows him. So, I mean, I guess it kind of works, in a way.
But,
it's just different than what we did. We wanted to go out. We wanted to get out of our parents' house.
You'd grow close to kids who, that you knew and that, like, accepted you enough to, to make you feel comfortable hanging around with them. And, they involve kids that involved you in things. We had that growing up. It's just now it's just like nobody wants anybody's kids over at their houses and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
I noticed that too. Yeah, that's what I told my stepson. It's like, you guys could come here. I don't care if you're here. I got a whole basement full of couches and a television. You could come here and hang out. I don't care. But other parents, they don't want them there. They're like, no. I'm like, why don't you want them there? It's safer.
There's
not really
very many places. There's not really very many places for kids to go anymore.
No, we used to hang out at pool halls. When we got older, it was a bar. We used to go see bands. Is what we used to do. There's a band I was friends with. They were a cover band. An old cover band that changed members all the time. In fact, it was the Rick Hall Factor, and then it became RH Factor after all Rick Hall and the rest of them left. And it was my friend Greg who was singing, and we used to go and bar hop, but not to drink, just to see the band, and go dance and stuff. And do people do that anymore? I mean, after the pandemic, they kind of ruined that, I don't really see a lot of that anymore. Not even around here. A little bit of it. There's like a Dead cover band. I'm like, okay. Yeah, all right.
There's I know there's like a small like group of kids that hangs out with each other around here in the neighborhood. And I'm glad to see that at least they're out playing, but it's like,
yeah, I got kids around here that play.
There's nothing really around here that for them, because it's just like, it's just, I don't know. the way cities are designed and streets are designed, shit, like it completely
It's
eliminates.
all retail
Like
around you.
we used
It's
to,
all
but we used
retail
to go.
around you.
There used to be parks with trees
Hmm.
and things like that, and like like playground equipment and stuff like that.
Hey,
We go
Steve-O.
to, and it's like the park that's just down the road from me used to have like um jumps for bikes.
Oh, cool.
Little
Nice.
BMX thing. They took all that out.
Oh,
It's
wow.
it's gone. I think it's like once people started suing for for injuries and shit, and I think just like there's a whole shift there. Now these kids, man, there's I hate to be like that old
They
person
weren't
saying
like
it, but
us on
they're
the
fucking soft now. They're
they're
not
like
breaking bones and
what is those 70s? Let me get a picture of them. The 1970s carousels.
yeah. Oh
Dude,
man, those motherfuckers.
like, oh,
Yeah, those will
I had a
injure you.
ball. Carousel.
If you're not careful. you know.
Yeah, playground. Play.
But see,
Oh,
those are
oh, I probably have so many concussions from these. People, yeah, there we go. People will know what I'm talking about. Here, let me share this.
so it's like so it's like you have friends you could beat up on each other, but at least like when you broke a
There we
limb
go.
on one of these death traps, then like you
There's
knew you
one.
had kids
This
who'd
is the
help you
one.
out.
That's the one. That's the one. That
I
is
like
the
when
exact one.
I like when they added
Or wait,
diamond
wait,
plated steel to the
that one.
surface of it. So that way it hurt more when you catch your knee on it,
We were
your
so
shins.
excited when this thing went up. Okay, it was like 1978. I was probably 6, and I had this school that was right adjacent to my backyard. Right, it was called it used to be called Annie Lathrop, and then they closed Annie Lathrop as a public school, and then they reopened it as a Jewish school called Akiva Day. And so when Akiva Day came in, they put this new playground equipment in. One of the things they put in was that thing. Ah, and I just remember me and my friends going nuts. That
Yeah,
thing. I mean, literally it. My brother would take us out there, and we wanted him to, right? And we had the death hang on that sucker, and I knew it was rickety and already rusting.
oh yeah, fucking death
Awesome.
trap. Man, I tell you what though, it made
Nothing like
kids
your life
tougher.
feeling threatened when you're 6. Like, yeah, kill me. That's exactly it. Speaking of your friends would do that crap to you. Okay, it would spin you so hard until your
Make you
ass was
throw
like
up.
halfway off
Either
of that.
either you get injured or you throw up or both.
Yeah, that was part of the
But
fun of it.
at least you had someone there who you knew you could depend on to help you get back home when you're all fucking bloodied up and shit. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Boomer. Asphalt under the jungle gyms. Yeah.
oh man, or the
You
fucking
can't
wood chips.
imagine this girl. I had skin knees all the time. My mom would try. Oh God, my
Or the
mother.
amount of splinters and shit you get from like fucking wood chips and the playgrounds too. Like, oh, that stuff
Oh
is.
no, I just got skin knees. The wood chips never really bothered me. I did get a couple of splinters, but you know what? I've never reacted to like, oh, it's a splinter. Um, my mom would get really mad, so she couldn't dress me at all because if I wore jeans, I would tear up the jeans by falling and skinning my knees somehow, ripping the
That's
jeans.
probably why
Or
jeans with holes in them became popular. Is
well, we kind of because yeah, the parents were just
just
like, I
buy
give
them with
up
the holes in them
buying
already.
jeans.
Just
You're
buy
gonna
them
wear
with the
holy
holes
jeans,
in
and
them
we're like, we don't
already.
care. That's fine.
But
I'll wear the. I
buy
like
them
them.
where
I like them
you,
that
you
way.
just you gotta buy the jeans where the holes are where you expect the holes to be at some point.
Nice, Jeremy. Yeah, you know what? Gravel is your enemy in a playground or even in a road. I did this
No, the
thing
beer
where I
the
went
beer
kind of,
bottles were in there too.
oh well, yeah, all kinds of glass and stuff. I went over the handlebars of my bicycle one time because I wanted to drive it over gravel like a genius, like these big like chunky white gravel they had in my neighborhood. It was evil at the end of some of these streets. I don't know what was wrong with them, but I went like gr- and skinned my whole chest. It was bad. I was like
But
10.
remember, wood
Not
chips. Wood
good.
chips. I'm a '90s kid. I grew up in the '90s, so that's when we had wood chips.
They made it a little
Uh,
safer. Yeah, us, they didn't care. It was dirt or concrete, and screw you. Because my mom would then put dresses on me. Like that was gonna work. That may have saved the pants, mom, but it didn't save the knees. My knees are scarred. I have a thing where I just landed and slid on my knees all the time.
okay, some knee pads.
Eventually, I did. I played volleyball. It was a good thing for me. They were like, "You're gonna play volleyball." I'm like, "You can dive." I always like I slide on my knees, guys. I'm good at this.
You're so
Trust
used
me.
to it, and your knees by this point, the skin is just callous at this point. So,
We had this one girl that did not know how to do it at all, and she broke her wrist. She would like literally like it's like, girl, you're not supposed to literally dive into the floor with your hand like this.
it's not
Okay,
like
that's
the
not what you're supposed
movies.
to do.
She literally went
You're
like,
sliding, dummy. Yeah, she broke her damn wrist. This girl also broke her jaw. She was good at that kind of shit. She thought she was good at sports. Yeah, she's just
Justine's a
good at
little,
hurting herself.
Justine's just too used to the road rash.
Hey, I was good at that. I never got anything bad. I
Oh
never
man,
hurt
yeah,
myself.
we
I
we
didn't, not
we.
that way. Not till I was older, and then my knees went, can't do it anymore. But
Just
yeah.
the amount of injuries that I'd seen friends get from riding bikes or
Oh yeah.
skateboarding or whatever,
Oh, especially
especially skateboarding.
skateboarding. Especially
Oh
skateboarding.
man,
Oh
having to
yeah.
drag my friend home because he hit his nuts on the fucking rail and had to explain to his mom that his grapes might have popped.
Oh, we had broken bones and um, concussions and everything else with that. I mean, because
Oh
they'd build
man.
ramps. They'd build ramps,
It's,
like makeshift wood ramps, and hurt themselves
I tell
all the
you what
time.
though, after he hit that rail, man, it took him a couple years to resume puberty. Those nuts had to drop a second time.
Speaking of jackass type of things, but yeah, I mean, friends will hopefully not let friends do that too much to themselves, but yeah, there was some crazy stuff that, and then so you gotta kind of talk about too when you have good friends. It's great, right? And here we have genuine friends. We do support each other. We encourage each other. We collaborate in music and art, and it's cool, right? But then you have these certain people that, like, after you talk to them, let me tell you something. This is what I do when I talk to somebody and I feel upbeat and good afterwards. That's a good connection, right? To me. But if you talk to somebody and you feel drained and you like feel like you just had life sucked out of you. I have talked to people like this, even people I've considered friends of mine in the past. And I've learned to just kind of distance myself from people like that. Because if that's what somebody's doing to you, that's going to tell you, like, exactly how they're going to treat you and what that connection's about. It's toxicity, it's negativity, it's draining,
And
right? Have you ever felt that way talking to somebody, even a
I
friend?
well, I had a talk about some rough, friendships. Like I had a friend, and I'm not gonna name names because I don't
No,
know
we
what are the
shouldn't.
odds of this guy's gonna. This
I
guy's
will not
gonna,
name names either because they
this
still like
this
some of these people, but still.
this guy, this guy might be watching. I don't know, but
And that's nobody from here, by the way.
we grew up. We grew up. Together. We were actually in Boy Scouts together. It was his dad who was the scoutmaster,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was cool because like okay we got to hang out. He was a much older kid, but um he had a very rough family dynamic. His mom and dad fought a lot.
Okay.
And so
That sucks.
this is the shit I got to see from behind the scenes outside of the Boy Scout meetings and what have you, because we
Right.
hung out. So I stayed the night at his house, weekends at times. But his mom and dad would fight a lot. It wasn't his dad that was doing the fighting, mostly it was his mom. And that was a whole nother level. That was like, holy shit. Like, if you thought the dad was an abuser, no, it was the
Yeah, it was
mom
the
was
mother.
definitely.
Yeah.
He had two sisters, which I don't know how in the hell, because how did they have, how did they get along enough to make babies? Is
Three
beyond
kids,
me.
but there must have been some point where they
They
did.
probably had like hate sex or something. I don't know, but you know,
Oh my God.
those kids are probably born out of hate. But anyway, so yeah, he was kind of stuck raising them
So
while they went on
bad.
and fought, a lot. And this is this is the same. This is the kid that I played a lot of video games and
Mm.
I picked up Magic from, and you
Okay.
know, um, but he was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like Beavis and Butthead, where like Beavis is someone
Rachel.
who follows the lead of Butthead. Butthead kind of just puts him up to shit. Yeah,
I,
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna
that quote
speak too
wins my
much on the
stream.
appearance
That
of
wins
those
my
kids,
stream.
but but so like it was kind of like like he was kind of demanding and kind of like really like sort of took this like he was just like butthead, just
Okay, yeah. Like
just
wanted
like
to
the
control
dynamic
the
between
situation
Beavis.
all the time,
Yeah,
right?
and I was like I was
Yeah.
Beavis. I was just following him, and he was just so manipulative, and he got it from his parents, and you know
Yeah.
so Jeremy, if you're out there, fuck yourself. Um,
So much for no names being spoken.
so that was the setup, and then the punchline. But yeah, no, like uh,
I was just talking to a friend of mine.
not you, strings and pucks. I'm talking about a childhood.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, you better watch that. We got somebody named Jeremy in
I
the chat. We like.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you.
Not you, Jeremy. Not
Unless it
strings and
was you
pucks.
whose parents fought a lot while we were hanging out and making a bunch of unwanted children. That's a lot of weight off my
Wow.
shoulders.
Yeah. Wow. Damn. Okay.
You're just
You're freezing. Damn it. So we're both freezing. Bummer. No. Well, yeah. That's what he gets. Jeremy, it's like karma. I'm now up here all by myself. That's hysterical. Oh no. I'll just do a Beavis and Butthead skit while I'm up here all by myself. What the hell? Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put them in the basement. This is gonna be me here. So anyway, I was gonna say, hey Treach, what's up? Is I shared a friend with one of my best girlfriends, who I'm still friends with now. I'm still very close with her. She lives 10 minutes away from me. And I see her all the time. And but we had a mutual friend. She actually introduced me to her. Um, let's see if he's back. Nope. Which we were all good friends, you know, again, three girls, but we would pair off this girl and her best girlfriend and me and my friend. And then we would go out to lunch or dinner and stuff, and it was fine. But you'd get the girl on her own and you would try to like have a conversation with her or tell her something about yourself. And she would literally turn it just to her. You know, like literally twist the subject until it was just about her. Like I would want to talk about, you know, the problems I was having with my boyfriend at the time or something. And then she would talk about, oh, I can't find a boyfriend and it's all about me and blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, we were like, there was a skit like that. Hey, there you are.
Technology, man. I swear to God.
I'm telling
man.
you, I feel the same way. Hey,
Like
sunshine.
they have made things so much worse.
Yeah, Rachel, I don't know if she was okay, so I was just telling chat that I had this girlfriend that I shared with my friend Pam, okay, who's still, you know, one of my best friends. She lives 10 minutes away from me, blah blah blah. But she and I shared, she actually introduced me to this girl she had worked with, trying not to mention her name, who also had a best friend. So we would pair up and go out to lunch and do stuff. And her best friend were nice people, like fun, but they were annoying in ways. And I was telling like the girl that we'll call her C, all right? She every time you like I would try to talk about my boyfriend at the time or problems I was having, she would turn it around on herself. Either make it a bigger like her problems were bigger, or like Debbie Downer type, like, well, I don't even have a boyfriend, you know, or no, my ex treated me way worse. Weren't there like skits about this on Saturday Night Live? Wasn't there like a Kristen Wiig skit like this? There was a Debbie Downer one, and then there was a Kristen Wiig where she would always try to one-up you. That's exactly what this girl was like. Her best bud was a know-it-all. I actually had to tell her to shut up one time because I was trying to make a point. She kept trying to interrupt me, and I was trying to make a point on something, and she kept I finally just said, listen, you shut up. I'm trying to talk to you. So so me and my friend Pam decided to kind of distance ourselves from those ladies. Not that they weren't nice, but at the same time, that's pretty toxic stuff, you know, and we didn't really want to be around that. Yeah, the one-upper.
Yeah.
Exactly, Rachel.
So,
it was just bad.
so Jeremy's family structure was that, you know,
Not strings and pucks.
not strings and pucks. But yeah, so it was like, you know, so you know, they were you know, scout, you know, was a scout leader. Our troop eventually dissolved into a handful of us, and it became, instead of camping and tying knots and, you know, whittling things and, you know, little derby races and stuff, it became working in the scoutmaster's fucking lawn.
Yeah, you talked about that. Oh my god, that's
It
terrible.
became child labor. There's no child labor merit badge either. That's unfortunate. And we're just wearing our fucking brown shirts and fucking mowing lawns, mowing a lawn,
God.
or hauling
Did he at least
mulch.
give you a badge for it, like gardening or something?
No, there was no badge for it. Like I said, it was a child labor badge, like child labor thing, and yeah. So it was like, so I quit eventually because I picked up guitar about that point, and we were still friends, but his parents were very fucking like salty about it.
Oh, weird.
Because like they still wanted the fucking child labor out of me, and
Yeah,
it
that's
was like
weird.
so
No.
it kind of became like I was sort of like yeah,
That's
boomer.
terrible.
But yeah,
Those
so
parents sound terrible.
it
You were
was like yeah,
terrible people.
so it was like yeah, so I'd be staying over, and and the next thing you know, I have to go out and mow their lawn, and I'm not even in scouts anymore at this point.
Oh, that's
You know,
strange.
yeah, and it was just like, and then like they needed me to babysit for them, and that started to become a thing because as I got into high school and I was having my own job and all that stuff, my priorities were shifting a bit, and so you know, dude wanted me to babysit for him, and I had just gotten out of school and that day, and I'm like, no, I need to
Well, how
relax a
young
little
were
bit
their
before
kids that you were babysitting for them, though?
5 and
Oh, okay.
2 or something.
Oh, so they were
And,
really young. So they had like kids far apart then. 'Cause they had your
yeah,
friend, right? And then you
yeah,
know.
and he was significantly older than I was by like about maybe I would say 3 or 4 years. But like it was like so
That's
he wanted me to
also an issue,
babysit
too.
for him. And I'm like, I just gotten out of school. I gotta get a little bit of time to relax before I gotta go to work. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, you could have all the time to yourself, kind of acting like a real dickhead because I wasn't gonna babysit for him. And
Yeah,
it's not
no,
even my
no.
fucking, So it started becoming like that, where like, he kind of like looked at me like his little minion,
Yeah, when
and
somebody,
he would
that's another
call me
thing.
that. He started
No, not
calling me
cool.
that,
When somebody
and
like is just
that's
using, that's just using you. That's somebody that's just
that's
using you. And I've had people that I felt were just using me, and I just literally stopped talking to them. I just
that's where I
stopped.
started
Just stopped.
becoming.
Just
That's
don't
where I
talk to them
really
anymore.
started becoming how I am with certain people, where I am so just like my patience is so just not there anymore because as I sense someone starts to use me, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
fuck off. Like I just completely
Yeah.
I seen this pattern of behavior before, and I don't like it and I don't trust it and I don't engage with it.
Well, and
So it's
here's
like
something that was sad. Like after Kurt died, right? 6 months after he died, I would get. It's like, oh, okay. So there's a 6 month mark with some of these people. I wasn't even dating. I wasn't even on anything, right? I'm just on Facebook, and I get messages from people that were Kurt's friends in other different communities on Facebook, seeing, it sounded like genuinely they were trying to be friendly, but then they wanted something. They're married men. Let's just put it that way.
yeah.
Bastards. And I had to chase them off. And that's just gross. When you first think that they're friendly people trying to be nice to you, trying to genuinely see if you're okay, they're not. And that's some toxic crap, They think, oh, you're a widow, and they think you're in a certain, because there's connotations with that shit. So there's, those kinds of it. What was
Mm-hmm.
sad was Kurt, when he was alive, thought these guys were great. He thought they were great men, really nice people, genuine and everything. Turns out, no, they weren't genuine at all. They're disgusting. They're fucked up. And that's kind of what made me sad. I'm like, well, if Kurt knew what you were like, boy, oh boy, would he have a different opinion of you. Totally different opinion. I know he would. He hated that crap. He was not that kind of a person. So you want to talk about, even like, you don't even know these people are toxic, how toxic they could be. That's kind of, you
Yeah. I
know,
mean,
I mean, you don't know, but it's still
and it's like, and it's like,
interesting.
and it's like, like I kind of wonder, like, where was my spine the whole time that I was, friends with this guy, because I don't know, it was like, I didn't have a whole lot of. I mean, I had friends, but and I hung out with other people aside from him too, but it was like you know I didn't really
That's the
pick up
truth,
on the.
Jeremy.
I didn't pick up on it. I didn't pick up on it until maybe I start like until like after the scout shit. When I
Yeah.
started I started getting into other things and I didn't want to spend time on that anymore. And when I started seeing the manipulation and stuff like that, and like I had been friends with this kid for at least probably 7 years at this point.
Well, I think too,
You
like
know,
when you're
so
young, you don't know what boundaries are. You don't know how to set them. You don't even know that you can, right? That's okay. You're trying to make friends and keep friends, and that feels important. But the problem is that some people think that they can do that too, that they can manipulate you and all of that. But, I think too, what I want to get across as well is that it is in a lot of the way you learn how to treat yourself, right? And you have to sometimes, and this is what I had to do, is show people this is the way I should be treated.
hmm
You don't
yeah.
get to treat me like that. By just basically how I do it is just stop talking to the people. That so far so good has worked for me. You just
Tell you
stop,
what,
you
as you
know.
get older, burning bridges gets a lot easier. It
I don't
does.
know. I'm not a bridge burner. It's not necessarily. It depends. Yeah, you would have to really push me. I've been pushed that far. I have in my life.
I mean, sometimes
I
sometimes it
burned
has to be done.
bridges
You just
in a previous
realize, and
community.
the
Oops.
funny thing is,
But
at some
whatever.
point, brother, at some point, like Jeremy just completely just cut me off. I didn't have to do it; he did it, and to him and his current
That
wife or
sometimes makes
whatever.
things easier. When the
Good luck,
toxic person cuts you
good luck,
off,
lady.
it's like, oh, thank you for doing me that favor. I had a girl I used to be friends with in high school, and she was horribly manipulative and everything. And I cut it off with her very early. A couple years into the relationship, I was just like, I'm done with you.
But he
And
also
she
he
was
did it
really
to
good
him.
friends with another friend. And they paired off and were best friends. And I could see this girl manipulating her, but she's really easily manipulated. And I was like, whatever. She's not going to listen to me anyway. So it doesn't matter, you know? So they're off those two. Again, a three-girl relationship. That never works. But I'm fine. I'm fine being by myself. I don't have to deal with that toxic weirdness. She was a weirdo, man. She was strange. A girl actually, hey, Hugh. Girl actually set me up with a guy that she liked. She like had a crush on this guy and then set me up with him and then got
Huh.
mad at me for dating him. I was like, look, I don't even like this guy that much, so you can have him. Like, I'm done with you too. See ya. You're a weirdo. I'm out of here. Like, why would you do that? Like, what kind of freaking weirdo are you? You're 15. Why are you doing that? But she also came from her dad died when she was 5, and her mom tried to marry a series of men that were horrible, and one was very manipulative and weird, and happened to be a friend of another guy that we knew from high school's uncle, and he ended up being just like the guy. It was really strange. It's weird how you can like people, especially like from high school, like you realize how messed up they were. It's kind of crazy. Speaking of friendships and toxic relationships and not knowing how to deal with them as a kid. I
Yeah,
know.
and I think at some point too, you like outgrow relationships, like kind of like almost like clothes or music tastes. Like
Sure.
I've all the people that I would hang out with when I was a kid. None of them. I'm not friends with any of them anymore.
Let me
So
think. I hung out with people from my high school up until Probably I was just maybe 40, maybe. And then, yeah, then things started splitting off and stuff like that. People started moving across the country. I still kept in touch with people, but it wasn't like we got together. We used to like get together every week. And that
Uh,
happens.
I
People
think.
grow, people move, people get jobs, people do stuff. I
Well,
remember my friend Dave, he was a big deadhead. We used to call him Wavy Davy, and he all of a sudden quit smoking weed, went to Specs Howard, got a job as a cameraman. I think it's at ABC. I want to say that. Went out West Michigan and meets like every celebrity in the world now. Good for him. That's what he does. He used to record dead
like
shows.
you're definitely not the same person like you were when you were a kid, though. Like, and or like even when you were a teen. And I remember
No.
like a lot of the people that I grew up with and hung out with, growing up, like once we became like after we became adults and we started realizing ourselves, that's when a lot of the cracks began to show. At least in
Sure.
my group, because I started realizing more stuff about me, and the politics did kind of enter into it a little bit,
Interesting.
um, and it
It
was
kind of
a
did for
complete
us too, I guess. Yeah.
difference of understanding between us. Or like one friend I had who
Frank!
um it's actually also kind of like a second cousin, so it's like it sucks double that like I had to cut them off because they're kind of family on my
Yeah,
dad's
yeah.
side, but I don't associate with them because, well, unfortunately, they got real toxic views on the LGBTQ community and
Oh, that's
women's
not cool.
rights and race, and
Yeah,
they're
that's not cool.
kind of they're kind of people who I
Yeah.
don't want to be
You
associated
think
with.
maybe it's like somebody that's gonna just automatically hate you and put you down for like who you are. What the hell is that about? You can't even hang out with that. That's a bummer. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, hey, Les, it's kind of related, family stuff, because you can be friends with your family. I'm friends with some of my family, like my cousins. My cousin Melissa, I would consider her my friend. We exchange memes all the time. That's a buddy. That's a friend. We get each other. She's 10 years younger than me. Her mom is 10 years older than me. So it's like 10, 10, 10. And so I don't know, somehow with us girls, it worked out. We get along real well. But then, you know, there's been other, like my dad's side of the family, we don't get along with at all. I don't talk to any of those people ever. Like, I don't even know them. You know? I know my mom's people, but I don't know my dad's people or and all of my half brothers, well, my half brother passed. He was okay, but my two half sisters turned him against us. That's why he ended up dying because nobody took care of him over there. We call it the other side. They wouldn't take care of the guy. He had a closed head injury, but he thought he could take care of his mom's house all by himself. And we knew he couldn't. He needed help, and we were trying to help him, but his sisters wanted to take his money, so that's what they did. They're just mean. And there's just messed up people, even in your own family. That's my family. It's terrible.
Mm.
We don't really know them
Yeah, it
that
just
way.
sucks
We
too
don't
because,
know
and
them.
like, a lot of these people were like there at like different crossroads and stuff in my life. Like I said, like, this Jeremy kid got me into magic. This
Yeah.
other friend and his family, they were kind of the reason why I got into
James.
music.
Well, and you know what?
And so we kind
People,
of did, like, we sort of tried making our own little band and stuff, and I was involved with their band, and
it's
after
cool.
so you know
Well, and maybe
but
too, there's that
hi
phrase
James.
like people are in your life for a
Hi
season
Hugh.
or a reason. Have you ever heard of that? I think
Hi Frank. Sorry, I'm
yes,
saying hi to people,
that's okay. You
unless
can do that. But you know that phrase where the people are in your life for a season or a reason, you know,
Yeah.
and usually they're in your life to teach you a lesson. Well, that person, maybe they brought music to your life and that's all they were meant to do, you know, and they passed out of your life and that's fine. But
Uh,
you took the music out of it and that's a good thing. You know, that's what I kind of got to because I've had some really I had a really toxic love relationship with this guy that was was a musician. Sorry guys. He was though. But he was totally negative, and the problem with him was he was a very talented musician, but he could never take it out and actually be in a band because he couldn't get along with anybody. You know, it was like the only person he could really get along with was barely me. And there were times when I couldn't stand his ass either. So, and it took me years, to recognize that, you know, my self worth, what I wanted out of life, my values and everything to kick his ass to the curb and start acting like the way I wanted to be treated. Right. And I think that that's a lot of it. Boundaries are important to set or just, you know, have. You know, like I'm not going to let you try to manipulate me or one up me or interrupt me constantly in a conversation. God, that annoys me. I try not to do it to other people. I know I'm bad about that sometimes, but
I try
that's a
not to do it here, but like sometimes it's difficult because you know the internet, and I don't exactly like when I'm in person. You know, with someone, it's like there's not like no delay or anything like that. I can kind of read when someone's like finished speaking, but here
mm,
it's kind of like you're talking and then sometimes it maybe drops out for a second or whatever. Or, you know, I think you're done and I go to start talking and then you're still going. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you
I
know,
know it's hard sometimes on StreamYards and Zoom calls and stuff because you can't tell. I've been in meetings at work where the same thing happens. That's why I don't get upset and I try to stop when I recognize somebody else talking. That is a thing up here when we're up here, especially like when Limey starts to try to talk and people talk over him because he's a little bit soft spoken, that it's like, wait a minute, he wanted to talk, or when I see you trying to talk and other people are talking over,
and
I'm very
so I have to like
conscious of that.
raise my hand, like, hey, you know, teacher. Uh,
I gotta learn OBS so we can have like a little hand raise. That would be funny. Because they have that at work on Teams. You raise your hand, it goes floating by like this. It's hysterical. It's like, oh, did you have your hand raised?
you're like a
Yeah.
little buzzer, like Jeopardy, you know, like, like, you know.
Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, you know, it's, I don't know, friendships are, I was going to talk about this too. And this is the reason why I kind of brought up this subject of friendships and mental health is that, again, not to name names, but there was a girl I went to school with and we weren't close. We were not close. She was part of kind of the Mean Girls Club. She was not a mean girl, let me tell you. She's a very nice person, actually. And her best friend were really, really nice people. But they just happened to be in that group of people. They were accepted by them. I didn't ever see them like really act like that with them, which was cool, but somehow they were lumped in with them, and that was, those were their friends and that was their support system, right? And they would, you know, they wanted to be like cool rocker chicks, so they would try to hang out with the punks, hi, and the rocker people, the we called them hoods, people that listen to the Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden. But you know, they would try to hang out with all of us, and they were cool, but they were cool. So we all grew up together, and this, one of the things they tried to get me to do when we were kids. I grew up with this family, was a friend of my family at church. I didn't go to church. It wasn't my thing. I never went to church, but this family was our friends from church, and I knew they went to the other school in our city. We had two schools. We had Southfield and Southfield Lathrop. We went to Southfield Lathrop. And so these girls came to me because these guys had a band and they had seen the band and loved the guys in the band. They thought that the guys were cute. And they knew that the guys went to my church and that I'd known them since I was like and I was tiny. And they didn't. The one guy, Chris, was my really good friend. And the other guy, Matt, he was just his brother, you know, and then they had a sister. And they were all really nice people, but they, you know, I grew up with them. I didn't look twice at them. I didn't even know. These girls thought they were good looking. Anyway, so they had asked me to take them to church. They were Jewish. I said, do you want to convert to Christianity? They go, no. I said, I'm not taking you to church and pick up men. Crazy. They just want to go. It's a great story. But anyway, the one girl ended up marrying one of the guys I grew up with from that family. And great marriage to a great couple. They were wonderful people. Her husband, who I had known since I was small, he was like a year older than us. So, you know, it was really nice. They had two girls, really beautiful kids. One looked like him, one looked like her. You know, it seemed like a beautiful thing. Great. Well, 3 months before my husband died, he passed away very suddenly, and he was only 53. I think he was 53. So he died very, very suddenly. It was just a sudden illness, very sad, very odd because he was, you know, exactly, Frank. Yep. That. Anyway, this girl is a very nice Jewish princess, very nice person, though, and did marry a very nice guy. Ironically, he was born again Christian. His family were big Christians, so it was interesting. But they loved each other and they were wonderful. He passed away. Recently, I found out that she wasn't doing so well, right? And I saw her posting on Facebook. In fact, she tried to come and support me. Her best friend did. Very nice people. We aren't close. So it's not like I'm calling them to get together and they're not calling me to get together. It wouldn't be natural. You know, it would be different if we had been best friends in high school. We weren't, you know. So it makes sense, you know, just normal relationship. I know the acquaintances, like Pookie mentioned earlier. But because the one girl had married a close friend of my family's, we're in touch with them. And my sister-in-law recently informed me that she had been in Arizona where her one daughter is. Her daughter moved there. Also, both of her kids have moved away. They're grown. Her one daughter moved away. She went to visit them and she had to check herself into a mental health facility. She's not doing well since he died. And I understand this. And I often wondered if it's because, you know, like my Justine never knew the rules hung down with the freaks and ghouls. Let me tell you, the freaks and ghouls have been better friends to me than the princesses. I think I had a better friendship network online and offline than she did, even though all of her posts on Facebook seem to be very positive, right? Don't believe it. Don't believe the posts on Facebook when people are posting like their life is great. You know, their life's not so great. And it made me feel really bad for her. And it also made me think, well, yeah, I've had some low points here in the last year and whatever, 4 months, almost 5. But I have a good support system. And I think that's really key, right? To making it through like something like that kind of a tragedy. Losing your husband suddenly. Me losing also my house and all of my possessions and everything, right? But I had this community and not everybody has that. You know what I mean? I think that I feel really fortunate to have that support, And it's something I wanted to say to everybody. And that also, I think it's really important to have that kind of support, you know?
And you know, we kind of, it's like we kind of like we have a tendency to like just sort of light up whenever someone says something about like, you know, like with you with your we find out your, you know, your situation, and we all
Yeah.
sort of like, you know, lit our we like lit up and got everything, you know, like together, and you know,
Yeah.
for
Rallied
you that, you know, that we
together.
could just starting up, you know, GoFundMe's and stuff like that, you know, and like with Mr. Smith right now, like everyone's,
Right.
you know, like, oh, Mr. Smith's having something going on, let's, you know, help him out. So, you know, we have a tendency to do that here, and it's interesting. I don't really think that that's possible, you know, with given the way the world is, you know, it's
It's
not too
really
many people
special
are.
here. Yeah, what we've got in this community, other YouTube communities, I don't think have. At least other ones that I've been in, they don't have that. They don't have that real sense of actual community. And I think perhaps maybe ours comes from the fact that we're doing music, which is already collaborative. So instead of just being handles out there, disembodied handles, we know
Oh,
that there are real people behind that and we
and
care
more in,
about those people. So I think
and
that's
more
really
in,
special.
you know, more in music. Music is kind of like the central thing that brings us together. But like, you know, it's a lot of people who are, you know, doing a lot of different things, and we
Yeah. A
support each
collaborative,
other's
creative.
shows,
Yeah.
and you know, we buy each other's merchandise, and
Yep.
you know, things like that,
Share each
and
other's stuff and support each other's
you know,
platforms and give
try
each other
try
ideas,
try
you
against
know?
all trying against all impossible odds to buy someone a membership in chat, despite them not
Oh,
having
that's
their
so funny.
despite them not having their memberships on, and you know,
And everybody's still trying to boomer get them memberships, which is awesome. But the cool thing about that, and I just want to say something kind of positive about that too, though, that only benefits Valerie, which I'm
oh
totally
yeah, she
cool
got
with.
so much, and
Oh,
she
we've
gets so
got a
much
treat.
engagement.
Look at, yeah, what's up, Brett?
Hey,
What
can you
up,
hear me?
Rhett?
Can you hear
I
me?
just want,
I
yeah, I
hear
can
you.
hear you now.
Okay.
Rachel, absolutely. If we don't help other people out when we can, what's the point? Well, that's kind of what we're all, I don't know, that's what I think we're all here for, is to help each other out. This is gladiator school, whatever this is, right? Pole vault! You're awake.
Pervert. Pervert.
So yeah, I think that's exactly, it's actually a key to its relationship, right? I don't know. But what's the point of just sitting by yourself all the time? I've tried it.
Oh,
Can't say I haven't. I have recently. And there's some value in that, you know, until you need actual human contact, which,
not to change the subject or anything. I just opened this cart,
yeah,
this
Mr.
Apple
Sunshine.
Wave, and you know, it at first it kind of tastes a little bit like apple, but now it suddenly tastes like tuna fish salad.
Uh,
Ew.
Don't think I'm gonna be using this one.
E.
I'm not using this one.
Gross.
My God, I'm disappointed. I am so
I would
fucking
take that
disappointed.
back. That just made me cry. Oh,
I just eat a little.
yeah, right.
No, so I seen you having all kinds of difficulties, and I always have those. So I can't show you, but I made this all in one because I stream to another computer when I actually stream.
Okay.
But on the main computer, I have like 2 or 3 different interfaces. I just a lot of stuff for things I'm doing. Well, I made this stupid ass Revelator microphone, which is by Personage, which is shit, but it's a USB thing. And then I have my wireless all set up to a boom arm, all So all I got to do is pull the boom arm out and put it in, plug it in, and everything's ready to go.
Mhm.
I forgot where I put it. It took me this long to find it. I put
Oh
it in my bed. I
no!
put it in my bedroom in a dresser drawer,
You kept it safe. That's
and
the
then I was
problem.
looking for my charger for my in ears.
Uh,
It's in the high. It was in the hydrator in my refrigerator where I keep my blow pops.
okay.
This was all last night when I was watching the Jam Fest or whatever the hell it was.
Sunfest, yeah.
That one.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, well.
Well,
At least
anyway,
you found it.
I tried
You
to
ever,
come and
like-
help you only about a half
Hey,
hour late.
Leela.
Jesus
All
Christ,
good.
my
We're
wrist.
still here. It's all good.
I gotta
man.
find something to make myself not so fucking red.
Yeah, I have
A
internet
different skin
issues.
cream.
I don't know. I just freeze on the live stream, so you can still hear me apparently, but I'm like,
Yeah.
or
I don't know. I was
Or-
having like for some reason I couldn't get OBS
great.
to work. I was having trouble getting OBS to work, and then because of some
Do this.
ridiculous C
Do this.
visual
Just
thing,
be a talking
and
head.
then now all of a sudden OBS works. I don't know what but now my T keys like only kind of like occasionally register. It's so weird. Like I'll type something, and then my T's will drop out.
What the hell you got on your keyboard? Something sticky?
No. Well, if there was something sticky, it'd be the space bar. The space bar is the first one to go.
Get an air can and blow it out, E.
I already cleaned it. I actually literally
Canned
took
air.
all the keys off and cleaned it, like, you know, and put it back together, and it was working fine. But then suddenly out of nowhere, and
started doing it.
half my mouse clicks. I'll click something, and I'll have to click it a couple times to make it actually fucking do things. So
Now, I
don't
wonder if
fucking
that's
know.
just internet lagging. When you click, it should
That's
work, and that's what
everything.
I wonder if
Did
it's
That's
you
everything
internet
on my
lag.
computer. Yeah, it's everything on my computer. I've tried reinstalling the mouse drivers and everything, and now I'm just like, God, fuck, I don't. I
I'm
give up.
convinced
I
my
fucking
whole
give up.
lagging thing is bandwidth. It's
What's
just
your-
because
Download speed. Download and upload.
I have no idea. I think it's. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it
I don't know.
up.
I have
don't know off
fiber
the top of
optic.
my
I have
head.
fiber optic cable, and my shit fucks up. So I don't think it
I
matters.
I'm supposed to have it's AT&T, so it's broadband is what I have.
Well,
it's
like-
crappy broadband.
You do know that like StreamYard is it's web based. So if StreamYard is having issues, then you're absolutely going to have issues because it pushes it out to YouTube. And the other thing, like Hugh Caldwell just got a new mixer, and it's a new Yamaha, and he's got it working, but still had to do workarounds. And what I was concerned about is because Yamaha is like one of the only things that doesn't work like on a Mac with class compliant. Normally you plug something in and go. I got a Yamaha keyboard sitting over there about $3,500 that if they quit updating, Yamaha quits updating that driver, it's junk. They're one of the
Wow.
only companies that, do that. And when you hop on to like say StreamYard,
Yeah.
a lot of the old Yamaha mixers will screw with the sample rate, and guess what? You're having issues. If you go with OBS, it's solid.
See, I don't
just
even
your
use
connection.
any of that stuff. I'm just direct to StreamYard. I got just a regular UBS mic that plugs right into my computer, and that's it. Earphones,
And
bam.
It's kind of also
That's
like
it.
It's also limitations too. Like OBS takes up space on your screen, and you got like 4 or 5 windows up, and
Well,
it
that's
helps to have
just it.
another screen. Right now, I'm working on one screen.
I'm wondering
one
if
of my
it's
monitors died. So
because I've
Well,
got 4 other windows up, and
Well,
I'm just
maybe.
yeah.
It takes a lot of memory. But like with
Yeah.
me, if I'm
Like
just
right now,
doing
I'm
this,
totally frozen on the stream. It's annoying.
I just when I do my stuff with the music, I got to go through something like OBS based, something that's a browser based, because the audio's got to be there, and I need more control. That's why I do. You get off of that before I kick your ass, Miss Kitty. No, that's why I use something like OBS, because I have control for all the audio going there and stuff like that. But for just
Yeah.
talking and with guests, I mean, like StreamYard or what's the other one? Well, one's like it.
Later, Rachel Oha.
I'm gonna keep your ass.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't figured out all the OBS stuff. I would like to. I would like to do that, but and He's even tried to show me OBS, and I've written, but I don't know. I
Well,
don't have a
OBS
brain
is
all
not
that
for bringing
stuff.
on guests. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah.
What you're using here is,
I mean, I use OBS for like virtual camera, and so that I can do like switch to like my memes and stuff. So boom.
Yeah, so he's got the whole friends meme thing for the friendship. I
I don't know why I just thought
Joey's the best.
because I could do stuff like
How you
that.
doing?
Like this, switching my scene up so I can show memes and stuff.
I'm supposed to be given a Yamaha board, but I haven't claimed it yet. I do want it because I want to be able to run my actual really good microphone through it. I have a Shure microphone I could run through it, and then I have a mic stand back here. I could actually use that. I could stand up and sing, which is a lot better than sitting.
Well, don't you have that not ID4, that Focusrite?
Yeah, I hate that thing. It doesn't work.
I
I can't put my
Focusrite.
headphones through it. If I can't put my
Occasionally.
headphones through it, I can't hear myself. If I can't hear myself, how am I supposed to sing?
I got you, because yeah,
That don't work.
it's a lot of that stuff. It's like it's like setting up loop back and stuff like that. It's what you probably need. Can you hear them and they're just out of sync?
No, I can't hear it.
Really?
I can't put headphones in there. It's just, yeah.
Like it doesn't
can't
have a
hear
hole?
shit. No, it has a hole. It doesn't work. And then
I get a lot of those.
Gary told me, G-May told me that it's not gonna work because it's not meant to work that way. And I was like, well, what the is this for then? Like, why do I have this thing?
Why isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's how you monitor yourself. You have
Well, it
to.
doesn't-
There's a button on the front, but with your board, you can monitor on the back side of the signal, on the back side of your chain. So,
yeah,
I'd
I
pick
don't
it up.
even have the board yet, so I haven't even bothered because I don't know how to use any of that stuff. I need somebody to come over physically and show me how to use it, and that's what I'm hoping. He's my family member. He's like married to one of my sister-in-law's sisters, so I'm hoping he'll come over and show me how it's done because it's what he does for a living. He works with computers and mix boards and stuff like that. So I'm just hoping he can teach me.
There's a lot of options coming out, right? Too,
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool shit dropping. Yamaha does have a new board out that's really cool, and it's kind of a digital analog hybrid type of thing. And then
How much is that though?
probably about 600-700 for a small one.
No.
It's a lot of cash. If this is
Yeah, I'm not paying that.
if you're just talking and doing this shit, what you got's perfect. That's
Hey,
what I'm on
Lori.
right
Hello,
now.
Lori and Leela. Hi, Leela.
Yes, Leela's here. Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, for now, I'm not. But I mean, I'm gonna
Hey,
be
girls.
doing music, but I'm gonna be recording it, and that's what I wanted the mix board for, not necessarily for the show or going online or even singing online as much, but just doing my own music. So if I want to run a guitar and a violin and my vocals through it, then I can do that with a mix board. I can't do that with what I have for the talk setup, It's
Picking out
totally
an ass.
different.
So I'm just kind of wondering, does anyone else's like outside of Focusrite, does anyone else's interfaces like randomly crash and fucking make random screeching noises and shit through the monitors and whatnot? Because mine does that a lot, and I'm just wondering if that's
What
like the
is it?
same thing among all
No.
companies or.
I have some that are rock solid, and I got some that have issues, and usually it's older ones with when you get like sample rate, not in glitches, you know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times like when you start talking. I had one I was using in here for mastering was a Prism, and I mean you're talking it's real expensive, and that's when you start getting into the world clock stuff and everything that syncs it up, you know, where you can do
Yeah.
more broadcasting, and that does never crash. The I got the audience stuff here. Um, Man, I find more problems with this stuff. It's what I hate about it is loose USB ports. Like you accidentally a cat
Yeah.
jumps up something and it like knocks the USB out of it. You know, I've had analog consoles that a drunk falls into and it's still going. You know,
Right, right. Yeah,
I
I had my cats ruin part of my work computer. I gotta get I got a little like an extended USB, so I plug that into the USB. It gives me like 4 USBs, so I can plug in a mouse and a keyboard and other shit. They jumped up on my desk and threw the computer down and bent that thing, so it's just like precariously hanging there.
right. And
Like,
a lot of times people just they
damn
underpower
it.
shit. They got like one power strip, you know, like a power USB thing, and they got like 3, 4 cameras plugged into it and all that stuff. Rule of thumb is one camera for that USB hub. And I know it gets a little redundant, but
Yeah.
um, if you get two, you're okay. But
Hey,
I
Gemma.
mean, it can cause issues. It just lacks
Yeah.
power, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I
It's
don't
just
care,
exact
even if you
weak.
plug it in, like on my cameras. I got a real nice, not an Avery, I can't even think of what it is, but I can tell glitches when I start getting over 2 cameras in it. You know, it's just lagging for
Okay.
power,
Yeah, that was
you
my
know?
problem with my webcams. Cheap ass Walmart ONN
Oh yeah,
camera.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking yeah, it's cheap as fuck. But the problems I had wasn't that it wasn't on. The fact that it was plugged into a USB hub, and it's just like so that's why it would just freeze all the time and glitch. And once I found that, I'm like, oh well, I guess I can stop hitting you then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like the Fonzie school of making it work. I know.
But it's like audio is so screwed to what it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you could go out to supper, come back, walk into a show, do sound, everything would go off without a glitch. Now you
Yeah.
walk in and you got shit looking at all these errors that have popped up because I got like error counters on different things so I can tell what's failed and what I need. A lot of times it's just go reinitialize
Right.
it. And
Yeah.
it's like, how's that even possible? You know, it's
cool
like,
thing.
Well,
Cool
it's
thing
like you
about
got all
having
these new electronic stuff. I'm sorry, E. You got all this new electronic stuff, and it tells you everything. You know, and the analog, you had to listen to it. Sorry, go ahead.
But the cool thing about having friends too is a lot of them can help you fix your whatever random bullshit errors. So that's
Oh, when I got this
uh
microphone, yeah.
so
Example.
if my friends out here would like to can point me in the right direction to fix a stupid Visual C++ thing that is fucked with my computer, that would be great. I appreciate that.
DM
Thank
me.
you.
No, like this microphone. So this USB microphone that I have, it's a blue. It's really nice. It's a really good one. It's a condenser mic. It's got all these like switches and bells and whistles. And when I first got it, I had no freaking idea how to operate it, and I'm on Gmaze trying to sing, and it's low. It's so low. You can even hear my voice. The music's playing really high, and it's like, we can't hear you. And I'm like, what? What the? How do you even? Well, luckily, Jade just messages me. I'm like, oh, thank God, like an angel from heaven. She messages me and she's like, there's going to be these dials, do this and do this. I'm like, thank you. Speaking of a friend that came and swooping in and saved my ass, she did that. Yeah. Jade. Thank you, Jade.
We're the kind of people, like, if you have a booger on your face, we're not going to just let you sit there with a booger on your face.
Thank you.
We're going to tell you there's a booger on your face.
That's a good friend.
Right. Pull it out, see how far it stretches.
I've had people do that, though. It's like you got to straighten out somebody's crown. You know, help them out, man.
Your
Don't let them sit there
undone.
with crap on their face from lunch, all dried up. Let me get that off you.
Like Red. I don't mean to be a perv, but your balls are out right now.
Quit
like, I'm just.
What is the rest? Are you at a fancy restaurant, pole vault or something? Should we speak French? Do we order in French?
I hope he orders in his inside voice. God, I am not shitting you. He freaks the shit out of Bitsy. That cat. I got two things. I can shake my pill bottle like that. It does better on the stool softener bottle because I don't know, they make better noise. But when
Softer
he
tone.
hears fucking pole vault, he sprints. And I was on here. That's the last time. And I was holding him, and he's got claws, and oh my God, and he weighs about 30 pounds. He just about killed me. And so now I was getting ready a couple streams ago. I was watching pole vault, had it low, and I had to go. I wanted to go uptown and get a milk steak or some shit. And sometimes I'll leave, like if Valerie's playing, I'll leave the stream on because they enjoy it. Because Valerie doesn't scream. I thought I'm going to leave it on for the cats, and I'm like, hell no.
No,
Because I think I mentioned in the stream I was going to do that, and then I thought, well, if the pole vault sees that.
Live stream a tornado. But I just want to say something about this with Gemma said, that once people find out she has autism, they stop being her friend. You know what? To be honest with you, Gemma, I think that it's number one, their loss, and number two, your gain. They want to stop being friends with you because of that. That is stupid.
Yeah, but you know what? As you all know, I don't spell too good. And probably, I don't know, Ashton's, how old is he? 26. God damn, the computer's been around 26 years.
Yeah.
Because I started
35.
doing my girl.
35
Well,
years.
I'm thinking like in the house. I guess I'm thinking,
35 years, yeah.
Yeah,
it's been
'cause
about 35 years.
I was doing I was going out with my girlfriend, and she's the one that had my boy. And well, she's my ex. And so anyway, what the fuck am I talking about?
Computers
You start
and
off, you don't
kids.
spell too good.
Oh,
and
okay, thank you. But I started doing computer work. Well, I don't know. He's always helping me. But I started doing like spelling and shit. And I'd go into mom and I'd hand it to her. And finally she was like, man, you're really like fucking with me because you spell so bad. Now I'm not knowing how to spell words. And finally, my boy, I don't know how old he was. And it's kind of when I started a little bit before I walked into the community. He's like, Dad, just type it. If they don't care, fuck them. And now it's a good joke with everybody because it's, I have not.
We enjoy it, actually.
I haven't had anybody give me any harmful shit for doing it. And if they do, you know what? I figured they wouldn't if they were sitting here.
Well, then
like
that's
puzzles.
just it. It's,
we like
and
puzzles.
I get this too, that, give you a chance for sure. But, I think
you don't.
there are people that are gonna give you a chance. And so you just run with those people. Like, you find out who your friends are and aren't kind of a lot. And it's not fun.
You're not. It's not that you
not fun.
spell too bad. It's just that you write in like a scrambled form of Latin.
Yeah.
Just
So
think of
many
it like
demons.
I don't know if
I'm
she put
sorry,
that
but
on
I
the
don't I
screen.
don't type that well either with my thumbs. I'm always typing the RTE or RHE for Pete's sake. I can't type with a jam.
sometimes I go to type and it just comes out like this just straight up garbage. I'm like,
It's my way
God
of
damn
thinking.
it. You
You
know,
know,
it just happens.
are you left-handed? Who's left-handed?
I'm
I'm
not. I'm
right-handed,
right-handed.
What are you, E?
right?
Always?
Well,
My brother is
switch hitter
ambidextrous. He
I kind of am
switches.
too, but it's however I first pick it up. I shoot pool. I hold the big end of the stick with my left hand. Does that make me
Oh, that's
left-handed?
left-handed. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
shoot
shoot
pool
right-handed.
left-handed. I started out playing guitar right-handed. Then I took the guitar and flipped it over and played like that for 3 years, and then finally I changed the strings. Um,
Mm,
my strong hand is my right. Now, if you're right-handed, what's your strong hand?
your right hand.
It's
Right, my right hand is my strong hand. So I gotta wonder if I don't have a communication problem upstairs. You know, something that shorts out.
Either that or it's more like what my brother does. It's like he doesn't realize he switches hands, but he does stuff like that too. It's an ambidexterity. You can do it either like certain things you do with one hand and just certain things you do with another.
But you
Like,
know, when I micro trip for about a week after that, it's better.
yeah,
My
might be
spelling is
rewiring
better
something
after
in
like a
there.
week afterwards, and it slowly starts where I just can't think how to make the word.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
there's the
it's
thing
odd.
about mushrooms was, my husband was he was actually under a doctor's care using magic mushrooms,
Oh,
right?
for pain.
Hallucina for pain. Yes,
Hmm.
for pain and for specifically neurological pain. Not
Okay, I can
just,
see that.
pain, but because he was numb from the waist down and from his hands up to about the middle of his arms, and it was caused by a B12 deficiency. The only thing that they had for him for that type of pain was gabapentin,
Oh
and the
God.
amount that they had him on was so high that it would have killed him in a year.
Right,
So
and then
we
he would have been
flushed
probably
that shit down the
blind
toilet. Well, yeah, because
because
he
it
had the
raises your eye
photophobia.
pressure so goddamn bad. You
he,
know.
he didn't take it for long. I flushed it down the toilet,
Now, did
and
he
we
have
went
any
with other
ghost
shit.
pains
Oh
like in the
yeah, oh
lower
yeah, all the
extremity?
time. That
So
was the
the micro
problem.
tripping
Yeah,
is going to help connect in when he's
yeah. The mushrooms actually, what they do, mycelium is what they've found, right? In the research, and he was a part of the research. They were studying him while he was taking this,
gotta
and
go, Luther.
what they were finding was the mycelium finds a way to redirect the nerves, the paths of the nerves,
Hmm.
so that there's a working path. It just redirects it. And they found this in like Japan. They actually had mycelium mushrooms design some of their roads. Some of their road systems are based on that, or mycelium, and how the
Oh, okay.
mycelium worked. So that's what they're basing like all of this neurological pain research on. They're doing it with that. They're doing it with mental health. They're researching like with depression, PTSD, how the hallucinogens affect that, specifically mushrooms, because of the mycelium. Not so much LSD. They are experimenting with that stuff too, and DMT. That's kind of a different a balancing thing. It's not
I thought
necessarily a
DMT was
redirection of nerves.
so. I thought DMT was new, like within
I
the
think it
past
is.
five.
I don't know anything about it. I don't
Oh
know much
fuck!
about DMT. I
I
never messed with it. We never screwed with DMT.
it's like top tier. I wouldn't want to do it again, but I mean, you definitely somebody there by you. But God, it
What
was
a
probably
bird.
Bird finger.
8 years,
Yeah,
I
I've
guess
heard
maybe. And it's
that.
just like almost kind of like Rush. You're gone, but then you come back really quick. And
Right.
it's
That's what
like
I've
you
heard.
and
Yeah. And
you know
everybody tends to tend to
We're
have
talking
the
about
same type of. It
talking about
reminds me of this.
poppers.
Well, it reminds me of the South Park thing. The whole the one episode where they the cat pee thing. where they
Yeah.
get sprayed in the face with the cappy and they all have the same trip,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That
It's
was
the girl
based
with the
on
boobs
Jenkem.
and it's all heavy
That was-
metal.
that was the
Heavy
whole. That was the whole
metal.
Jenkem. That was that whole Jenkem thing that was going around. Is like, talking about people taking fermented poop in bottles or whatever and huffing balloons of the gases, and
Gross,
that
dude.
that's what the whole South Park
Smell like poop.
was parodying the Jenkem.
I'm
joke.
sorry, that's desperation to
Man,
get
how
high.
do you find all this shit in your bedroom? What the hell do you do? I want to see your
What?
search history.
What?
And I want to see your fucking search history.
Oh no, you don't. I search all kinds of funny shit though. Like, I'm sure whoever's watching me at the government level is probably got a
You got a
fucking
class. You know?
fucking whole binder of shit on me probably. But
So
Well, I just always was
love
like a
you,
DMT
Chama.
because I'm kind of fat and I don't want to have any of that shit get stored in my fat cell. And all of a sudden one night it pops out when I'm like driving down the highway. You know,
Yeah, that would suck.
whoa!
I have
know?
heard of that being able to happen. I've never had it happen to me personally,
my
thank
son.
God. But
Happened
ooh,
to him, but
nasty.
it wasn't from DMT. It was just, I think, from pure abuse of acid and mushrooms and vodka. I'm a great dad. He was like 16 out in the backyard going, me and Nathan are going out in the backyard. I go, okay. And they were home. And him doing a trip is what actually got him clean. 'Cause
Oh,
it was
wow.
Like, he actually seen himself 20 years from now. And he's
Oh,
like,
see?
I got to go get my shit together because, if you stop them, all they do is go down 2 or 3 houses down from you. And
do the
then they're
same
hanging
thing.
out with the bad crowd. And then all of a
And you
sudden
don't know
get-
where they're at. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
My neighbor, he
I
was
don't know,
like
but
Yeah.
about 95.
I
I just
never
can't help it.
I never
off the
smoked
pack.
weed around my stepkid. I have a thing with that. I don't smoke weed around kids, right? But he knew what I was doing. I was honest with him. I told him it was medicine and why I was doing it. It was for anxiety and pain. So, in how it worked for me, and that he didn't need to know about it. But that when he got to be he was 21 when he started using weed, and here it's legal. He asked me. He came to me directly, came to my house and was like, I have to ask you some things because I can't ask anybody else. I don't and I don't trust anybody else. I'm like, okay. And he started asking me about weed and how it works and what he should do, and like for his first time, should he do this and that? And then he started eyeing my gummies. I'm like, okay. You want to take a gummy? He's like, yeah, I want to try one. I said, okay. You don't get to try one. I took him to the kitchen. I cut 1 in 4 because one was 20 milligrams. So I cut it in 4. So it was 5 milligrams each, 5, 10, 15,
That's still a
20.
pretty strong gummy cut into 4.
Very. He's a
I
large
wouldn't be
guy.
able to know I eat a
He's
whole
about
frickin'
6'2".
pack myself.
And he's big. Okay, so he's got a little fat on him, but and he's 6'2". He's a big kid. So I was like, okay, we'll cut it in 4s. Take 1 corner, one. Wait an hour and see how you feel and assess it. Well, he waited about a half hour and he was helping me move stuff in the house, right, with other friends. And so he's like, oh, I'm a big kid. I can take another one. Half hour later, I told him an hour, right? Well, luckily he's at my house. He's fine. So he makes the general newbie mistake of taking another one a half hour later. An hour later from that, I found him like staring at the corner of the wall. I'm like, you okay?
Yeah, and I
How
don't
you
know
doing?
anybody. I don't know anybody that's ever died from weed. I got a lot of buddies that died from booze. I'm not talking about
Right.
driving. I'm talking about doing.
Yeah.
I still like the one where the cops out.
No,
in
he was safe at
California-
my house. He wasn't driving anywhere.
Well, do you remember the one where the cops, like out in California, had got into a whole bunch of edibles, and good shit. And they called up 911 saying, we're dying. We're dying.
Yes, I
They
did.
lost
I
the
heard the
guy."
call. It was
Like,
great.
you ain't dying, dude. You are just uncomfortably high. Well,
You
you know,
just got really stoned.
Ashton was probably 14, and mom comes to me. I was doing something in here, and I could hear her handicap cart. She walked. I could hear there's a little bitty hump threshold from the kitchen. The house is all one length, but there's carpet and then onto the linoleum, so you could hear the thing. I could hear her
Sure.
wheeling in here, and she goes, I don't know, but I think you need to go talk to your boy. And I said, why? She goes, smells like skunk coming out of his room. So I'm getting ready to go talk. And in my driveway, I gave the cops
Exactly.
permission to sit out there and run radar. And because it's a country road, but people fly. So I walk out there real quick, and Ashton had his window open, and I built him a plexiglass thing with the port tube on his air conditioner and blow the smoke out.
Right.
He was in there hitting the bongs, and I'm sitting there talking to the cop, and he goes, you smell weed? And I go, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take care
Well,
of
I
that
mean,
shortly.
usually you smell weed when you buy it. I mean,
So
Huh.
I come inside and I talk to him, and I said, hey, don't be disrespectful to grandma. I said, don't lie to her and don't lie to me, because
Yeah.
I think you've been hiding it. I want to know what comes in this house. I said,
Yeah,
don't
I gotta
care what it is."
know.
I said, I'm not going to stop you from bringing weed in here. But I said, if you
Right.
go getting in my car, you can't be blowed out of your mind. And if you're bringing booze in here, I don't want you to hide anything from me. He never did. And
Yeah.
when he first got some acid, I said, go here and get you a test kit.
Yeah.
So you're for sure what you're getting is not going to totally kill you. Was that wrong or right?
Exactly.
Probably not the dad thing to do, but he was going to do it. I did.
Well, and that's it.
More
It's-
dad
it's
thing
like-
than a lot of people have. Like, honestly, some people.
But
don't
wouldn't
have
you
dads
rather
to
tell
do
them
that.
and have them be safe with it than go out and get hurt? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? I mean, I'm not going to tell my kid to go out and like shoot up or anything. That I would be very concerned with. But for something like weed,
Mushrooms
is
or-
something mushrooms or even drinking, you'd want them to be at home around you, doing it where they're safe rather than and can get the right advice rather than being off somewhere where they're not.
What was the
going to
worst
get
he was
that.
going to do? Fall asleep and burn a hole in his recliner watching Game of Thrones? I mean, he wasn't hurting shit. And
Exactly.
The mom was a lot more hip with him than she was with me when I was growing up. I was always had my ass in a sling. But Ashton, she raised him because his mom, we get along great. She's a good person, but she just, man, if she'd have been a mother animal, she'd have ate her young. She just was not fucking good at it. Good soul, just not a good mom. And, but grandma, I make killer, like brownies and tinctures and
Yeah.
shit. And I don't do that much of it anymore. I've kind of
Yeah.
backed off a little bit, but I made these brownies and they literally, you would eat a half a brownie and you would really be there and you'd enjoy it.
Right.
Me and Ashton walk into the kitchen and you hear both of us, some of you may have heard this before. Me and Ashton both went, oh, fuck.
Oh no.
He had got into the refrigerator and got a glass of milk and had ate 2 of those fucking brownies.
Oh.
And
she
that-
didn't
like my
notice
kind
the
of
taste of it was a
accident.
little bit special at all. Green, maybe.
She asked what the hell I did. And, I'm sitting here going, oh no. I was worried that, I mean,
It's
she
the
was
best.
in her 90s. And I'm like going, oh my God, this is a case where I thought maybe it could kill her. Because, I mean, they
Right.
were so fucking strong.
Oh no.
Anyway, she goes, my neck's hurting. Would you go get me a pain pill? And she said, I want to go sit and work on my puzzles. And she was working on like the eyes or a mouth. She had her border done. Then she had this little bitty circle she was working on in the middle. I kept coming back and check on her, and she had 5 puzzle pieces. She just kept moving around and moving around, and they wouldn't fit. I come back in a little while later, and she stood up on her cart, and she had got her scissors out, and she was cutting the ends off and putting them in. And I told her, and she said, "Well, I didn't feel nothing." I said, "Oh, yeah, you did, but she didn't." She didn't
Like it
freak out
because
enough.
it doesn't like register. It's not like alcohol where it gives you a hangover or anything. You don't have any side effects because it's not addictive. It's not, your body can't get addicted to this. It's not addictive in that way. It's addictive that it feels good, right? You just like, oh, that feels good. I want to keep doing
I
that.
don't know though. I'd like to
But
try the 2 brownie challenge. That sounds like a good time to me.
I would fall asleep. I'd be like,
Oh my god. Be a whole
Down.
sheet pan. I eat a whole
I'm
sheet pan of
down.
weed brownies. Like, let's go.
I have noticed that some of the weed is so strong anymore. If you get the wrong strain, that I never been like super paranoid, but I've noticed
Yeah.
sometimes that some of the shit's getting so strong that it's like, man, just a little. I want to go to sleep. I don't want to go to Mars.
Yeah,
You know?
I've had some
Fucking
stuff.
astro
I can get
projecting.
cosmonauty. I've had, I have a strain right now. I don't think it's this one. Then again, my eyes are bad. This is a 28 percenter, 28.1 right there. These are just pre-rolls.
Is that pre
But
roll?
I have-
How much are your
yeah.
pre rolls? What do they cost up there?
For 28 of these, this cost me $35.
I can't grow it for
And
that.
it's an ounce. Exactly. An ounce of weed, of pre-roll weed, $35 to $44. Depends.
I think I was trying to think what I was getting when I would go through Chicago. Stop up there's a place right up around in there in the hood, and they had the best prices. I think it was 7 grams for $50, and then they brought in the. Is that right? Then they
So
brought in the,
$50 an eighth.
yeah,
That's
and then
expensive.
they brought it. Oh, it was real bad. And then they brought in the public to buy the medical weed. And then all of a sudden you couldn't
that-
buy that. You had to buy
Oh.
different. They screwed all the medical people up.
Yeah, they did. When Kurt and I were together, I grew because it was 2 of us, and the influx had not started, right? So weed prices were still up there, and we could grow better than what was actually out there, right?
Right.
People were growing shit. They were just kind of growing to sell it, and they didn't care what they did to it, and it looked like crap. So we grew our boutique stuff. We really cared about it, and only grew 5 plants, and we picked out the seeds, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But now you can get all kinds of boutique weed, and literally I can get it for $50 an ounce. $60 an ounce. Really like high end, like 30% stuff. It costs maybe 75 to 90. It's like ridiculous. Used to spend like $350 an ounce on some of this stuff.
I don't know.
And now it's
but
not- it's so
I'll tell you
cheap.
what gets me high these days is inhaling these card packs.
Yeah,
Oh my
he's addicted
God.
to magic card packs.
This fucking
I just seen
smells
this.
so good.
Francis pulling back my shower curtain, Lori. What the hell's going on in this chat room? And how-
What?
Yeah. I think there's some nastiness going on in there, some flirtation stuff about a shower curtain.
Let's see. Somebody's
How
watching me.
Lori gets it.
I don't get nothing. You got to
The
show
smell
me.
of like fresh card, like stock and ink.
Oh, I
It's
was just
like-
talking about weed making you paranoid. Nowadays, you gotta watch it, right? So, it's legal in a lot of places. I know it's legal where Lori is. It's legal where Gary is. It's legal where I am, where Red is. It's legal where he is, but it's really screwed. Their laws in Ohio suck.
Yeah,
But-
fucking we don't do 8s, we do 10s. Like,
Yeah,
and
just
like
crazy
the
shit,
weights,
right?
the weights and prices are fucking stupid.
But here in Michigan, right, they have to test it. They have these little labels. I'm gonna try to show this. Can't really see it that
This
well,
is
but
pretty.
you have a label,
This is
right?
pretty.
And it'll tell you how much THC is in there.
Right.
And so if you're not used to smoking, like I smoke daily, so obviously I'm going to need a little bit higher THC, but I try not to go really over 30. 30 is really high for me. That's really high. I try really not to go over 27, 28. That's a lot. Oh, Limey's here. Cool.
And I can't do the CBD shit at
Yay!
all.
Limey.
Is that
Limey.
Larry? Oh, Limey.
It's Limey.
Larry Redneck.
Who's Larry?
Who's Larry?
Brother Larry.
Well,
Limey.
he's here, but
Well, now he's gone.
He
Shit.
didn't talk sometimes.
He'll come back.
Blinking, you miss him.
It's just like the computer stuff we were talking about earlier. That's exactly what's going on. But anyway, so if you're not used to it, what you want to do is get a really low percentage, like 18, 15. It'll mess you up. You know, you're not used to it, but it won't make you so paranoid. You know, I went to Amsterdam and made the mistake of being like a kid in a candy shop and went and smoked at everything the first day. You know, like, oh, yay, woohoo, I'm here. You know, and then I end up at this one little place, go to smoke. I smoked indica all day and then went to smoke a sativa and got completely paranoid. Like, oh, you know, like my brain went, zzz. And I said, I better, oh, bummer. Oh, too bad, Limey. It's a bummer. Anyway, I was sitting there and I had to bring myself down. Like I was right on a canal and it was a nice sunny day. So I just started talking to myself in my head. You're okay. You're fine. Everything's fine. You just need to breathe. You just got too high. You just
How do you
need
breathe?
to stop.
Wait a minute. How do you breathe? Wait, how do you swallow?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm
It's
gonna make it.
rough.
I can swallow. Yeah, I've got a few of those. Well, maybe Michigan can take some of that money and fill some of the potholes. God damn.
Seriously.
That in between Chicago and like Kalamazoo.
Oh,
my
God.
Oh,
Well, you
Jesus
know, we
Christ.
don't have toll roads like Ohio. We don't do those.
You
so our
think
holes are,
that does us any better?
Our holes are full of road. Actually.
You think that makes anything any better? Oh, we have toll roads. It doesn't make a fucking difference here.
No, what it does, they always fix your roads, though. They're always fixing them. There's constantly road construction.
You must have a different opinion on what the word "fixed" means because
Well,
they don't fix the roads.
Fixing, meaning there's construction on them constantly. I'm not saying they're fixed. I'm saying they're fixing.
Working.
Yeah.
All the time.
God, there was a stretch of interstate down in Illinois, down around Troy, which is coming into St. Louis. They had this big exit and on-ramp they were working on. I swear to God, guys started that and retired on that fucking bridge. And when you get on it, you're literally like, if it's raining, you can't. It's so big. It's probably 160, 200 foot. You don't know where the fuck to go. Now I can see because there's 2 pilot truck stops and shit. But in a car, you're like, and then you don't even know if you should pull across when the light's on because it's like. Don't know where to be.
Those roads freak me out. Now, we have a bunch of freeways here, you know, like I-75, 275. I live right next to I-94.
Oh, God.
And what they're doing to us is they're closing them down to redo the freeway. So they're like repaving it or whatnot, fixing it. You know, your tax dollars at work type of deal. Not really, though. It just ruins your life. So they're closing down one side of the freeway to fix it, and only the other side will be open. And they already have that with the one going east to west now they've got the one going north to south. They're going to be doing the same thing on. It's like, great. Just wonderful.
And
And they're constantly doing that. They'll be doing that for the next 10 years.
How loud is it there? Did you just tell me? And I can't hear because somebody's playing with a fucking bag.
It's not that loud. It's actually not that loud. Dude, to me, it doesn't bother me, I guess, because I'm used to city noises. That's me. I'm used to the city noises, so it doesn't bother me. But you know, I can hear the there's a battle cat. I can hear like motorcycles go by and all the loud cars and stuff at night, but it doesn't bother me.
Has that alarm been going off at all lately? You are too close to the property.
No, I've never heard that again. At my barbecue, we were outside talking. Me, Scotty Butters, Scotty's wife, and James. We were outside talking, and it's like 11 o'clock at night or something like that. And we're out there, and all of a sudden we hear like this voice going, "You are too close to the house," or something. We're like, what the hell is that? And it was somebody's alarm, and it kept talking. It just kept, I've never heard it again. It must have been mad we were out there. Too. It was weird.
All night long, it was going off. Like,
oh, I think it has stopped.
It kept going off all night. I heard it at night, like later, like hours later. And I wonder if those people weren't home. And it just like kept going off. Or it was weird. It was very
down.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was actually the band Three Doors Down, living 3 doors down.
I wonder if it was the you had any squirrels out later at night, or well, squirrels wouldn't be, the coons and possums and shit.
It could have been a stray cat. We've got stray cats around here. I've heard them. My cats have noticed the other cats. In fact, I saw one of them. I was like, "Ooh, there's Kitty." It was right by my garage, which I don't mind cats by my garage. If they want to catch rats, it's fine with me. They can come right around and do that. I will not bother those kitties. You can come right to my garage. I'm fine with
you know,
it.
like cats are one of the only animals people worry about them, but I do. I feed them shit, but I mean, they're not going to.
Yeah.
They're not going to starve. You know, they're the one animal that they will find food in a town. You know,
and this is right near Detroit, so you know we got issues. So if the cat wants to hunt that stuff, you go. They will
find food, but if you're offering it, also they will take that too.
Oh, absolutely.
They will beg
I help
for
them
it
out. I help them out even in the summer. Now I don't give them as much in the summer. You know, I have. The ones that want to friend me, they come around early and they get first pickings. And then the ones that come later on the night, maybe not as much, but the ones later on at night are going to tend to be your coons, your possums, and coy dogs and shit like that. And they're okay. If it's super cold out, I feed anything. But right now, like the coy dogs and all that shit, I mean, there's a bunch of things for them to feast on over out there. I got
other
180
animals.
acres of wildflower, you know, and set aside land. So there's a lot of game over there for, you know, them to have fun with.
By my brother's house, they have coyotes.
Gotta lurk again. Sorry. LOL. All kids of bands there. The doors down. Stray cats. Whoa, Pookie. I didn't read that too good, did I?
Kinds of bands. Stray cats, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. Around here, like I said, it's city. I've got a friend out in a city called Milford, and that's country. And there's feral cats out there, but by my brother's place, it's country-ish, and I had to stay out there. There's coyotes, and they're real coyotes, and they're nasty, and they will eat your dog. They will. They've been known to get dogs. My brother the house is built into a hill. All the houses are there, and then it leads up to that hill leads up to a commons area. And usually you can see deer there, any little wild animals. Well, the coyotes come in there now. And if you let your dog out up there, if it's not a nice big dog, you've got one of these little dogs, the coyotes will eat it. And there's been a couple instances where coyotes have gotten people's small animals. It's nasty. You can hear them at night. My brother walks the dogs at night, and I'd be like, you be careful out there, man.
Yeah,
Take a BB gun with me or something.
That'd probably just
They're
piss them off.
prey
Really,
on you.
coy dogs and shit like that. I mean, they probably already smelled you, and they'll usually fuck off pretty quick. Now with the small animal, no, that's an easy catch, because usually like small dogs and shit are like, they can. I don't know. It's really weird how we can trust the life of our president to the nose of a dog, but that same dog will sit there and kind of want to sniff the coy dog's ass. And it's like, dude, there's a whole bunch more over there. You understand how they fight, right? They're already kind of around you. You're fucked.
Yeah, you're screwed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sniffing the butt ain't gonna help none.
God, if I was
I
a
seen a
dog.
video where a guy had he had stopped an attack on his dog by a coyote, grabbed the damn thing by the tail and put him in a dumpster. And
Wow.
yeah.
I'd be more worried about getting bit by a coyote, because man, they do carry some shit.
They're nasty. They're
know.
they're mangy, gross. I've seen them. I used to see them up north all the time too. But they're not. No, I've seen these silly videos on IG where people think they're dogs. Oh, I saved a dog. It's a coyote. You idiot. That's not even. That's not a dog.
Imagine,
I mean,
though. Imagine being bit
a
by a
joke.
coyote and then like the moon changes and you turn into a were-coyote. That would,
yeah,
that
there's a
would
Barney
suck.
Miller episode like that. You know something that a total
I
change
think
of
you're
subject,
right.
But if there's some people here, I know there's some people here from other countries, okay? And I was talking to Hugh Caldwell about something, and I didn't realize how stupid he was. And
Stop.
no, not bad. I mean, let me rephrase this. How stupid he is on American TV. There's
Oh
a
well,
better
they
word
don't
than
know. They
stupid.
don't watch American TV like we don't watch British TV.
I do, and that's always been a thing. So what I'm asking is, you Caldwell,
though.
if you're watching this, I apologize right now. We'll go back to being lovers after I say I'm sorry. But
Rhett's cultured.
you damn right I am. But I was talking about Andy Griffith, and Hugh goes, who?
They don't know
And I
who
said,
Andy
Barney Fife.
Griffith is.
And he didn't know who Barney Fife was. And then I said, you ain't never seen the Ghost of Mr. Chicken. And then I said, well, do you know who Gomer Pyle is? No. And I said, I Love Lucy. And I'm going through all the. Then I said,
MASH.
you got to know who the Honeymooners are. And to see,
No.
but I watch.
No, he doesn't though.
I was.
I'm
shocked
38 and I know most of what you're talking
did
about.
not translate across the ocean.
Yeah, but
Across
you're
the ocean.
American. See, no, it doesn't. In television
American
shows, unless
TV.
you're like super interested
Gilligan's
in that
Island?
culture.
No.
Like there were a couple of British shows I watched, but I didn't watch all of them. You
Well,
know, I
I
watched
think-
Absolutely Fabulous. I watched Monty Python, and I watched
Keeping
the Young
Up
Ones. Or
Appearances.
3 of them. That's another one.
Miss-
That was the one I was just trying to think of
Hyacinth-
earlier today. Keeping
Hyacinth
Up
Bouquet.
Appearances.
Hyacinth Bouquet.
But well, and that's when I was we
me
you
call
know,
you
we were
Sweetie
talking, and I
Darling.
was like, I think a lot
Darling.
of it because
Sweetie.
when I went over there years ago, we went to England, then we went over to Norway, and we were playing over there, and me and Mark brought back a bunch of videotapes of Are You Being Served, all these shows, and I still got them and I still watch them. And so, but here last year, Cold Acre turned me on to Dad's Army. And I was like, the same thing as where I was going with the story is like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And I've been watching all this and trying to catch it on the internet because I love British comedy. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, you got to check this one out. Oh, man, I just absolutely love that one.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Like Lil Limey says, like he's watched and listened and read and done a lot of, stuff with US culture. And I've done a lot of stuff with British culture because I grew up with a lot of people from England. Okay. And so I was introduced to all of that stuff and like good stuff. My dad loved Monty Python. So,
Yeah, my dad got
it
me into Monty
crosses.
Python.
Well,
it's
just
MASH is a great one. Yes, I loved MASH.
made
You know,
me
the
think-
fun fact, Jamie Farr is from MASH. He's from Toledo. So score one
Yeah.
for
Oh,
us.
he's one of my favorites. He did all the cross dressing and all that stuff. He was great in Radar. I loved Radar. I loved
Oh,
Radar.
yeah.
He was awesome.
Well, it made me
it's
think,
adorable.
though, it's like how many people don't always understand my sense of humor because a lot of it's probably dry and comes from British sitcoms. That's like the first time I sent
I
Lori
love it.
something. I hadn't even been talking to Lori that
love
good, and I
it.
called her stupid girl. And it's from Dad's Army. Do you remember that? Well, no, you guys don't, because Pike, he's always calling him stupid boy. And Hope
Right.
was like, you might need to say you're sorry. I don't think she watches Dad's Army.
Like, yeah, if you don't get it, like the wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing. If you don't understand Monty Python, if I said wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you'd look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Wink, wink, photographs.
Nudge is as good as a wink to a blind bat, eh? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But I found that it's kind of the same over here, even with the kids. Like my boy does. He grew up with big band music, all these old TV shows. He called grandma's movies sing-alongs.
Right.
Grandma
I love
was
it.
always in there. She couldn't
Lawrence
hear
Welk, right?
Lawrence
Oh, my
Welk
God.
singing in
My
the
parents-
rain, Sound of Music, all this stuff. And it was like always White Christmas. I mean, all this stuff. And I was trying to record in here, and it's nothing's soundproof unless you spend a lot. It's dead in here, oh my God, I'd have to wait for quite romantic scenes to do my vocals or whatever I was doing because God, it was horrible when she'd watch like Tora Tora. It'd be like, let's watch a nice one tonight. Let's watch South Pacific or something, but yeah. So the kids, they don't know a lot of these old shows that are from here.
Right. No,
about
they don't.
Lawrence Welk. I know about Lawrence Welk because my grandparents were really into that, and I remember watching my grandfather splice cassette tapes.
Oh,
with
that's
Lawrence Welk.
funny with Lawrence Welk.
I would watch him splicing tapes. Like that was like my grandfather did some audio editing. That's that's kind of interesting. But yeah, Lawrence Welk just always sounded like it was underwater.
But what's interesting,
Well, he
you can
was
ask him any
Polish.
question about musicians from across, and he knows everything. So that's why I was just almost like shocked when I was like, "But you don't know who Andy Griffith is."
Well, it doesn't. I don't
get it,
know.
but it's just like-
different. Like it's different with the music than it is with television, than it is with film. It's a little bit tweaked, I guess.
So
I don't know.
was like, "Have you understood 90% of my humor, Hugh?" When I do
That's
references to like Barney Fife, It's like, no.
I just assume we always talked like that. Like,
Yeah, God. I mean,
See, I was watching. My dad was really into Monty Python. So when I was young, I was like 4, and he had me watching Monty Python. And I remember he watched Benny Hill. I didn't really watch Benny Hill, right? But he watched Benny Hill. And those were like the two big British programs on public television back then. But my dad had me late at night, we'd watch Monty Python and crack up. And then later, when I was a teenager, they brought Monty Python to MTV of all freaking places. And I recorded all of them. I had everything. And then I watched all the movies and, Wafa Thin Meat. And Sperm is Sacred and
I
Meaning
feel
of
like
Life.
I'm
and all
gonna fucking explode. Just
Like,
fucking
Gary
So
Huff,
gross.
he just said I could never watch black and white movies or TV, just can't get past it. Okay, but if you go watch Gary, Andy Griffith start at season 1 through season 5, they're the black and whites. And if you go to where they go to color, they're shit. Plus Barney.
Oh no, yeah, no, I never watched
So
it
it's
after
season 1
color.
through 5. And there's just
I can't
something
whistle
about
that. It'll make me laugh.
And there's also the color scheme to like Barney Miller, that old, like it kind of makes you feel cozy. The old New York, it was.
I love I love those series, Barney Miller and like the Jeffersons and what's the name,
All in the
Archie
Family.
Bunker.
It's in the hall.
All in the Family.
All in the Family.
We used to call it just Archie Bunker. We just called him Archie
Crush it.
Bunker. But I
Mom-
love that show. My dad hated Archie Bunker, but I liked him. Yeah, well, that was the Kids in the Hall. That was a
Why
Canadian
you just
show.
mention Kids in the Hall?
I love the Kids in the Hall, Limey. That's like, I love that show. Me and my brother
I
still do that
crush
to
your
each
head.
other. I crush your head, crush.
Oh yeah, the Danny Thomas episodes.
Danny Thomas. That's not Danny Thomas, but who's
Absolutely.
that?
When Don Knotts left, it was
Oh, with Andy Griffith, yeah.
one of the funny ones is I definitely got my favorites, but my boy teased me because 5 years straight, when I go to bed, I want something to just be sound and happy, no bullshit.
Right.
And now I'm doodling. I've doodled everybody in here. Not doodle. I've diddled everybody in the community. And
All
Okay,
right,
there's
right.
Puff Daddy.
and that's my relaxation. It's my therapy.
Right.
And he was like, Dad, all you do is watch Andy Griffith over and over and over and over. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, it doesn't take any brain power because come the end of the day, I'm
Right.
done,
It's just in the background,
yeah,
right?
it's noise.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
how Kurt used to use South Park. That's why I've seen
So-
every single stupid South Park in the universe, because he used to have that running in the background while he was doing stuff on the phone or on the computer or whatever. He'd be
It's like
doing
on-
20 other things, but have that running in the background constantly.
On this
It's like,
TV
oh my
over
God.
here, I've stopped hooking it up to the studio, and I just have like comes free on the Vizio, like scenes and stuff, pretty thing. It's got like oceans, and then it'll
Yeah.
be fireplaces and stuff for the
Like
holidays.
a
just something.
screensaver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I stopped doing the old Andy and Barney's because I would quit working. And next thing I know,
Oh.
I'd be in here and it'd be 2 hours and I had binge watched Andy Griffith.
Just watching Andy. I'm terrible. I've that type of ADD energy where if I sit down and watch a film, I have to super concentrate on it, or I'll do like 20 other things. I'll start getting into a conversation with somebody on IG or something. It's terrible. Or I'll run. Oh, I want to watch this cooking video. Oh shit, I was watching a movie. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing? Why are you on your phone? No, stop. So watching and concentrating is a really bad thing for me anymore. I'm trying to read more now to help my concentration, because I found it's everywhere. It's terrible.
Mine never was that bad, and it was never good, but it's gotten worse where I will, if I'm watching something, take me 2 hours to get through, or about 2 to 3 hours to get through a 30-minute video, because I'm stopping it. Oh, I need a chew. Wait, I got to pee. I need a coffee. I don't think there's enough sugar in it. It's just like I can't settle down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I do that too after work. I have to do something, especially because I've been working from home. Oh, they're gonna make me start going into the office. They want to make people to start going to the office. My excuse is my cat's getting neutered in a week, so I'm not going in until after that happens.
no, that's too bad. I just got diagnosed with chronic diverticulitis.
Ooh, that's not
Yeah.
good.
No, I'm just telling you, that's a good excuse. You can't go in, you can't make it.
Oh,
Yeah.
And just go in and just shit your britches. They'll send
they'll
you.
just
Yeah,
no, I'm not gonna do.
I have diverticulitis.
I am not above shitting my pants to stay home.
No, Not above or below it. Certainly wouldn't want to be below it.
Well, right, and the whole thing is, I
Or in the
wouldn't mind
vicinity of-
going into the office a couple of days a week, but usually we were able to take Monday and Friday and be at home, and then the rest of the week go in. No, they want us to come in either one Monday or one Friday. It's like, no. So they want us to do that, and then they're closing the freeway right by my house where I connect to the other freeway to get to work. So how exactly do you expect me to get there? I just want to know. You know, they're closing all the
Teleport.
freeways. Yeah, I guess.
You
So
gotta learn
wouldn't it just be
teleportation.
easier if I just went to my computer in my office and turned it on and started working? That's going to
Yeah.
be my point. And my boss is not going to like enforce this. It's just stupid. You know, it's just one of those dumb things I got to
Yeah, it's
deal
like,
with.
well,
in
I
life.
guess this is my 2-week notice if we're going to do that.
I
I've
would
given
love
a
to do
2-week
that.
notice so many times. I remember
I would
one
love
time.
to do that.
Oh God! See, my brain. I went from this conversation straight to something else.
Oh, well, that's the experiment
we
here.
do that though. Like we talk about things and then we move on to other topics.
And I'm loving chat right now because we went to Gary's new nickname, Gary Chubbs, and now we're on charts. It's awesome.
Well, I do. I want to share this story. I've shared it before, but man, it's funnier as shit. Ashton, I never got to it because I got sidetracked on something else, probably talking about Hubert. But my
Hubert.
boy, when he first started smoking weed, it was shortly after that I said, all right, so why don't you, when I wasn't on the road working, doing music and shit, I drove a truck because there were some companies that back in the day let you do casual and they wouldn't knock you off the books. And when it was slow, I'd come home, I'd go out and I'd drive. Well, I said, come on with Dad. I figured this would be a great time to talk to him. Well, in his ultimate wisdom, he thought it'd be a great time to go in and get fucking ripped.
Oh
And
boy.
we had about a 2-hour drive to go down. We were picking up lime for PPG, which makes glass.
Yeah.
So we drive down there to St. Genevieve's and we go up this huge ass hill and we're loading and we're underneath this thing and you pull forward and then they got this thing that comes down and it dumps the lime in back of your trailer. Looks like grain hopper semi. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like corn,
Yeah.
exactly what you'd use. And so they blow a whistle or do something, a horn, that means pull forward, and they toot it twice, that means stop. And I said, when they do that, put on that hard hat and go to the bathroom. You had to go to the bathroom. I said,
Yeah.
right over there. See it? It's that porta potty. Well, they toot it and off he goes. And I mean, he reminds you of Chumley off of Pawn Stars. Okay. here he looks like a giant fucking minion with this goddamn hard hat on walking.
Oh my God, that's so
And
funny.
I look and I go, he just walked into, it was a little bitty, I mean, probably 6 foot,
Night,
by
Frank.
6 foot by 6 foot little building. He walks into, it's a fucking tool shed. And I go, no.
Instead of the porta potty, he went to the tool shed.
He comes back in and climbs in that thing and he goes, God damn, that was dark in there, man. I just took a shot at it. Pulled in there next day, no loader up there. I went in and he said, do you have somebody with you? I said, yeah, my boy. Why? He says, he didn't like fuck up and go to the wrong place. I said, no, why? He went to the porta potty. Why? Yes. He said, somebody pissed in the head boss's bucket with his tools in it in his belt. And I go, and I know Ashton, man,
Not
when he
anymore.
goes to the bathroom, he's so lazy. He had been holding it for like 2 days. So I'm sure he filled the fucker up. Oh, God.
That's bad. That's so
it-
bad. That's
I was like,
so
dude, get in the truck, man. Do
so
not
bad.
admit to
Look at
this
Larry.
ever. Anybody from St. Genevieve's Quarry listening? That was my boy that did that. Sorry.
That sounds like an admission of guilt.
Dying. Oh my God.
Well, my question is, they're right next to each other. How do you not
Yeah.
go into the porta potty and walk into the tool shed?
Well, I mean, for one, I'd be like, this doesn't have a toilet.
Well, you would kind of try to assess, like, yeah, exactly. This
It
doesn't
doesn't
have.
smell like a porta potty.
It doesn't
That's-
smell like porta potties are very obvious things.
Yeah, because he had been to him long enough going out with me. He knew what a porta potty was. You know, the place.
I mean,
he'd go in and
if
throw
you're
his-
taking a piss, there's generally a splashing sound of some
Oh.
sort, especially in a porta potty. And if it doesn't sound like, then it's if it sounds more like you're peeing on metal, you're probably peeing on tools.
And this is what your friends will do for you: is turn a conversation about friendship into porta potties and poop. And speaking of poop, I sent a golden poop to Pole Vault on his Saturday show, and I don't know if he noticed it. What are those little things you can send to people? And it had a golden poop emoji thing. Like you have points or something.
but-
I don't know. It gave me points.
Imagine.
So I sent a golden poop.
one that looks like the Dairy King curly Q.
Imagine
stupid.
how funny it'd be though if he came out of that shed and like said to the next guy like don't go in there. Oh my god.
Oh,
Like,
and it was light
Pookie,
enough out
Pookie
there.
knows. Pookie was there. She was there. It was me, Matt. It was me, Mad Hatter, and Pookie. And Mad Hatter sent this like he sent a disco ball. I'm like, oh, let me go look and see what the hell this thing is. Because it's emojis, and I love emojis. So we went there, and I was like, oh, okay, there's a couple I could send. Ooh, a golden poop.
What the fuck are you sniffing now?
cards.
Don't you remember the old dittos, right?
Yeah,
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You
I
know,
usually didn't do it on live TV though. No.
people
He's
like the
easy to
smell of
entertain.
them. People like the smell of
Is that
them.
what you
man.
want for birthday Eve?
What?
Cards?
Oh my god. I
Is that what
have
those
too
boxes
many.
Are behind you full of cards?
Yes, this is full and this is full. Those are decks. There's a box back there that's not visible that I'm actually giving to Justine because there were cards that I
That's-
pulled out that were like bulk, and I mean it's all bulk, but
Yeah, they had more. You had like 3 or 4 of them, so you pulled one out.
like, if I had like a bunch of duplicates, I was just like, all right.
If I ever get to play it, I've been doing like a million other things. So plus
Well, you gotta get
trying
your
to
ass
get
over
my
here and
chops
pick me up.
back for
Boomer
Yeah.
Bass nailed it.
good luck.
That's what the fuck that was called. I always called it the
mimeograph.
thing at the school that they turned the crank on and printed the paper, and then everybody in the class would be smelling it. Mimeograph.
That's dittos. Yeah, dittos. What I was calling dittos. The purple ink.
Yeah.
I know. I used to have to print them out. They would
Oh, I thought you were
send me
talking about-
down to the AV room to go print
Dittos?
them out.
I thought
Yeah,
you
it's
were
like, oh
talking
goody.
about,
At least I got out of class.
not dum
But
dum,
yeah,
nerds.
What-
I thought you were talking about nerds candy. They smell great too. Look at that closet. Did you see that?
What are you talking about? Dittos.
you got
Get away from
ghosts.
that, you little. That cat
Or
opens
cats.
everything. He can open everything. He even uses the toilet.
You're just a spooky ghost. It's Kitty. All right. Well, it is 10:33, and I think
way.
I'm going to end it here.
I'm sorry for making you.
Limey, if you want to come backstage, you can. We'll hang out.
No,
for a
I
few.
need to go to bed. I just wanted to make sure you were going to get off okay and not having a gold stream going down again.
No, I appreciate
you
that.
left.
Yeah, I do that all the time too. It
You
always
know what? I'm
happens to
glad
me.
it happened because I made this thing just for this. As long as it works, I can't play.
Right,
because
right.
You know, it's just a talker. USB microphone on a stick.
Well, that's like, this big blue thing is just a USB microphone. It just happens to be just really huge and heavy.
Got
This one, which is
Got
nice.
the-
I won't even lift. Well, I could lift it up, I suppose.
I got
It's
5 other
big.
microphones, but they're set up to my.
It's heavy. It's a
Streamer.
heavy sucker.
That's
Big
another.
ol'.
headphone. That ain't on. But
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? Maybe I
This is
can show you what I got
clamp to a
set
There we
up.
go.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
see.
the cable all here, and then here's the wireless, and here's the in-ear. Then that goes down to that cable. Then it's plugged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got everything
Anyway.
zip tied now, so it's like whenever I find I've ran something backwards,
Yeah,
I gotta
that's-
unzip tie it. The hell is?
Oh,
what
yeah.
is that?
Upside down.
Oh my
and
God,
turned
look at
This
the
is
around.
handle
the
on
this
that.
is the thing my camera's attached to.
No, go
Oh,
right.
Now pole vault's here. Okay, I guess I'm not
Right.
ending. We're still going.
I
Pole vault.
just came in. I was like,
What's up? All right.
it's-
All right, you guys. Yeah, whoever wants to come back and has a link, come on back. So we're going to end it. And love yous, buddies. We'll see you
timing,
later
Paul.
next week when we do this again with some other subject that I come up with or somebody helps me come up with
Good night,
next
pole
week.
vault.
Love you
Good night.
guys. See
Love
you
you.
later. Bye.
See y'all
Say good night to
later.
Bitsy, pole vault.
Bitsy.
Stop.